Hello and welcome back. Today we're talking about Web Application Firewall, or WAF for short. Okay, so first we need to talk about the Open Systems Interconnection OSI model. This model represents how computers talk with each other over connections, and it has 7 layers. It has the physical layer, the data link layer, the network layer, the transport layer, the session layer, the presentation layer, and the application layer. We're not going to go into detail on these layers right now. We'll have a separate tutorial about this. But what we need to know for this tutorial is that our typical firewalls that we have encountered previously, such as NACLs or Network Access Control Lists and security groups, they operate on layers 3 and 4. Whereas WAF, or Web Application Firewall, is operating on layer 7. So the difference here, and this is important to understand conceptually as well as for the exam, the difference here is that NACLs and security groups, they only understand IP addresses and packages and what's going, who's connecting to whom, and stateful, stateless kind of connections, things like that. So that's what they're designed for. Whereas, and NACLs don't understand state, they're stateless. Security groups are stateful, but we won't go into detail on that. We have separate tutorials about that. Whereas they don't understand what is in those packages. They understand who is connecting with whom, but they don't understand what is one computer saying to the other. They don't know if that data, that package is being transferred, has some malicious software or not. Whereas WAF operates on layer 7, and that's where we have HTTPS, HTTP, and things like that. And so WAF can look into what is actually being transmitted, not just which IP address is connecting to our computers and so on, but what is actually inside the packages that are going, and it can detect malicious software. So that's an important distinction. You cannot do that on the transport network layer. You can do that on the application layer, and that's where WAF comes in. So very important to keep that in mind. Now, how does it work? Well, you might have in your account CloudFront, an application load balancer. You might have API gateway. You might have AppSync. And so all of these are layer 7 entry points into your account. These are ways in which users can interact with whatever you're providing them with in your account. And they all happen at layer 7. And this is where we would deploy the Web Application Firewall. And we would deploy this to each service separately using what is called web ACLs and rules. So you can set up your custom security rules to block, allow, or monitor web requests, or you can use pre-configured rules to protect against common web exploits such as SQL injection and cross-site scripting, or XSS. So look out for those words in the exam. You can deploy the Web Application Firewall to all of these services using web ACLs. And now when an attacker wants to attack your account, they will first be faced with the protection from the Web Application Firewall, which is designed to catch their attack. So that's how it is used. So here's our OSI model with 7 layers. As we discussed, WAF operates at the application layer, or layer 7. The question is, can you deploy WAF on a network load balancer, or on an NLB? Well, unlike an application load balancer, which is over here, which operates on layer 7, a network load balancer operates on layer 4, and it's over here. So we cannot directly deploy WAF, or the Web Application Firewall, on the network load balancer because they are at 2 different layers. So the Web Application Firewall can only be deployed at the services that operate at layer 7, the ones listed over here. So that's a trick question to look out for in the exam. And also just look out for questions relating to SQL injection, cross-site scripting, monitoring and control over HTTP, HTTPS traffic. That's layer 7. That's what WAF is designed to look into. Anything to do with creating a firewall for these kind of services. Here's a quick summary of what we discussed. I look forward to seeing you back here next time. And until then, enjoy the cloud.